Oh, there I am. Hi, everyone, again, and welcome to this segment, Sacred Heart Connections, the language of love, where I invite you to send in your questions and comments. It's amazing, and thank you to those who do send in their questions and comments, because it makes me realize that there's people out there that need their questions answered from a spiritual context and an understanding of, who we truly are, and what's going on in the planet today is part of that, and what can they do to feel better. So the reason why we have disharmony is because the planet is in disharmony, meaning there's people on the planet that are carrying disharmony and maybe low vibrational frequency. So I've talked about this before in a previous segment, how we carry an energy. It's within each and every one of us. Everything is energy. We can carry that. I like to keep it simple, so we can carry a high vibration or a low vibration. So if we're a low vibration, we'd be maybe carrying some anger, or we might be carrying some disrespect. We might be carrying some fear about something. We might be carrying, which is very big on the planet at the moment. I'm just going to pop my glasses on, because this is a book I wrote a couple of years ago. Oh, that way. Heal to Live, and I actually have the breakdown, and this breakdown is from, because I did a lot of research about my near-death experience before I wrote this book, and I wanted to know why I was feeling so much love and so euphoric in my heart when I actually crossed over. And when I crossed over, nothing else could get in. It was pure love, and pure, nothing else existed. Everybody was one. I was one. I was one with the world, with the planet, and that went on for a short time, as in it wasn't just 5 minutes. It went on for months, and it was hard living in the world that we live in, but I learned to work with that energy and bring myself back down to the earth plane. We can all do this. I don't hold any special powers, or I don't put myself out there to do that. I love empowering people and teaching this. Through my lived experience, I can help others feel the energy of who they truly are. So that being said, so what I have written in this book, and I did, it's all research based on Dr. David Hawkins' research, and it's about humanity's consciousness and the frequency that we hold within us. And there's lots of scientists out there at the moment too, also teaching this. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Anita Mujami talks about her near-death experience, and how this, the word fear, the feeling of fear, can really interrupt with our vibrational frequency. And when that happens, it can impact on those around us, and it can impact on the planet. So we need to be consciously aware and have an understanding, I think, on what consciousness actually is, when we're in it, when we're not in it, and what to do. What are our tools or things that we can do to bring ourselves back? So joy holds a frequency of 540. So these are scientific measurements. For example, the 1 million meditators that I'm part of, I'm the ambassador for Bali. They've had meditations, global meditations, where scientists have actually looked at the frequency of the planet when that 48-hour meditation is being done, and it's recorded the high frequency of more balance, more love, more joy in the planet in that moment, because of the lots of people coming together, a collective. We could call it a collective consciousness coming together and radiating out that peace, that love, that the feelings of calm within the heart, within the body, and that actually has an impact on the planet. So if we looked at, and I'm not going to go too deep into this because I don't want to, it doesn't sit well in my heart or my energy. So with the demonstrations going on in the world today, is, if it's got anything to do with violence or hate or racism or I'm sure that sort of thing, it's actually a low vibration. It's doing harm to not only people that are taking it on in social media, because the media gets hold of it and feeds more of that, so it gets people worked up, and they then get worked up, their energy levels drop, and fear comes in and they start being part of that. We really need to be consciously aware of what's happening here to bring ourselves back. So the best thing to do is not watch it. And if you happen to, I know on one of the days I got caught up with it and kept popping on my screen, and I thought, who's controlling this? I don't want these things popping up on my screen, but I don't seem to be able to control it. So it's a little bit like manipulating the mind of not only the population, but because it has an impact on the planet. So it's bringing darkness in. So just be mindful of that what's really taking you out of your joy, your peace, and your harmony and your love, because we're all love. We were born love. We are love. We move away from our love when we're children. And this is another bit about science. So when we're about 7 years old, we actually move out of our hypnotic walking around, just taking on and doing our own thing and not really caring about what's going on in the outside world, but it sort of gets put in our subconscious, and that starts to come to the surface from about 7 years old, and then we move into adulthood. So back to the frequency. So joy, love are right up there, very, very high. And when I say high, you look at someone that walks into a room and says, hi, everyone, or at a party, hi, everyone, or at a social gathering, hi, everyone. Their energy is radiating up here at a high level of joy and love and compassion, and they're just so excited to be out and about and, caring about others and being there. And where someone that just turns up and goes, hi, everyone. It's like, I really don't want to be here. I'm just here. I'm not. And when people are like that, they're very caught up in the material world. They can't shake off their energy. So they rely on people to go, hi, how are you? And how are you doing? And it's good to see you. They're high vibrational people. They're coming from a place of love and compassion and caring. They're really interested and they want to listen to what that person's saying, and they're excited to see them. So if we look at that's joy. So joy is 540, love is 500. Acceptance. So acceptance is a big one because it's part of grief. It's a part of the process. The 5 emotions that we go through when we're grieving, and there's a lot of people grieving at the moment for loss of loved ones, loss of jobs, loss of homes, loss of family, many, many losses, loss of relationships. So but acceptance that will get better and that will heal. That's part of it. So that's another high frequency. Having strength and courage. I talked earlier on my live meditation about the fire element, which lies within us. It's the solar plexus chakra. It's our intuition. It's our compassion and passion. It's also our strength and courage. Like you would ask, give me the strength and courage to continue on my beautiful work that I'm here to do, or show me what it is. So you're actually talking to your spirit, your intuition. It's all one of the same thing. It all feeds into, your spirit, your soul, your higher intelligence, your higher self. It's all one of the same. So you're just saying, I'm listening to you in this moment. Anger holds a frequency of 20, sadly. There are many people holding anger and unable to shift that anger. But one of the things I like to say when I'm sharing or in a group session or even one-on-ones, remember a time when you've been angry in the past, and there is always something that comes to mind. Now remember a time a couple of weeks after that anger, how you felt about that same situation, and you'll know that you've moved away from that anger. You intuitively did that but didn't acknowledge it. So if you're angry with someone, go for a walk, get out in nature, go for a swim in the ocean or swim in the pool, or start drawing, or doodling about your anger, so to release it from your body, because the more we do these, they're just little things, little golden gems for our spiritual treasure chest, and have these things ready. I'm really angry with that person for what they did. Where is that anger coming from? I'm not saying you have no right to be angry. That's not what this is about. It's about, do you really want to hold that anger inside you? Is it really good for you holding anger inside? So these are the things. And anger with a low frequency of 20, it's down there with guilt and shame. So we might feel shameful because when we're children, our parents may have said, if how could you do that, you dirty little girl or dirty little boy, for touching that and doing that, or whatever they've done, or that was my good vase, and how could you do that and jump around and make that fall off the TV? These sort of things. Well, kids don't think of those things. And as parents, and I'm one of them, we sort of brought our kids up a bit unconsciously, because we didn't know any better. But now we do. There's lots of information out there, and our grandparents were the same. So these are all the old patterning. So I hope this is sort of making sense the way I described it. Now, grief is another one. It's a very low vibration of about 75, and fear being 100. So all of these are what we want to eliminate. And there's many, many other emotions. So there's sadness. It's a low vibration. It doesn't mean to say I'm sad, feel guilty, I want to change it. It means honor yourself in that moment. I am feeling sad. Sit with the sadness, sit with the anger, whatever emotion it is, and then allow it to freely move out of your body, because it's an energy. And then bring yourself back into the place of love. Another question that came up, we might have time for one more question, is the inner child. Now, what I'd like to say to you is I have free podcasts and free meditations on my Instagram. If you go in my bio, I've got lots of free information how to work with your inner child. So your inner child is very, very in your subconscious. It's there. It can be your guidance as to how you can shift energy, how you can shift old energy. But I like to just say, just if you gently close your eyes and do a meditation that feels right for you. And again, I have an inner child meditation that you could do, and just let your inner child sit on your knee and embrace your inner child and ask it what it needs. And if there's anger there, or sadness, or feeling like they've been betrayed or left alone, or there's an attachment issue there, that feeling will come to the surface very quickly. And then we can override that emotion by telling that inner child that it's safe, it's well, it's enough, it's full of goodness, it's beautiful, they are a beautiful being, they are here, they're amazing. And that's your cue then to go in and look at that emotion. And always remember, don't push emotions away no matter what they are, but know that they hold a frequency. And that frequency is our emotions. So we have, how it works is we have thoughts. Those thoughts are attached to feelings in the body. And remember, when you go back to your childhood, you were thinking and then feeling. So there's old, stale, stuck energy there. Those feelings are attached to an emotion. An emotion is energy moving in and out of the body. So going every day, like emotions, energy moves within us like hundreds of thousands of times a second. It's moving in and out very fast, and the eyes are scanning everything, and little triggers are being activated within our bodies. So that's what we and they're being activated by others' energy as well. So it's not complex. It's very, very simple, really, but it's just taking time to be with you and know that each and every one of us has a beautiful gift to give to the planet. Whether we are an intuitive spiritual guide meditation teacher like myself, or whether we are just or whether we are choosing to be an artist, or maybe work in a supermarket, or work in a clothes shop. If you enjoy what you do, that is your gift to share to the world. So, and it's those that go out there to try and create something and they make it a monetary, make it all about money. They're the ones that are disconnected and start feeling their suffering. Because if you enjoy what you do, the money just flows, the energy just flows, and money's energy. So hopefully this segment has covered, given people some insight. And I remember another question was the intuition, like your intuition, your inspiration and your passion comes from your solar plexus. So your solar plexus energy is around your navel and beneath your navel with your sacral chakra and your root chakra. But remember this, it's energy. And it's actually, if you looked at energy, when we suppress or there's low vibrational energy that's around us or we're carrying, we push it down. So remember, all your low emotions or your low energy are sitting in the bottom of your energy centers, meaning your chakras. They're not sitting up here, it's sitting below, but the thoughts in the subconscious, which is still energy, are sitting in part of the mind. So you've got to bring those two together and then marry them together into love from your heart. Love and harmony, peace, compassion, forgiveness. And that's how that's how it's done. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's segment, Sacred Heart Connections, the language of love. Remember, make love your language. Speak in a loving way. Always choose love for words, kindness. If you can't, apologize to the person for what you've said and then take a moment to recalibrate, because the more we recalibrate and reset, what happens is we override the subconscious and we become conscious in every moment. And the more we do it, it's like driving a car. You can jump in a car, and if you've been driving for some time, you just do it automatically. You do it subconsciously. You can have a conversation with someone, you can be eating and you're focused on what you're eating, but the car, you just automatically know what you're doing. That's your subconscious. So consciousness is, I'm in this moment doing this. So if you're in this moment doing fear, doing anger, doing shame, doing resentment, you are in that moment creating more of that energy for yourself. So the idea is to slow down, tune into your subconscious and override that feeling, that emotion, and bring in more love and kindness. Remember, you have a beautiful, beautiful heart. Why would you want to hurt your heart? So have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much. Please keep your questions coming. And if you're wanting more information, please go on to my Instagram. Click on my bio for free meditations and free podcasts. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Oh. We're still recording, I think. Oh, there it is.